the furry, aka Kiko.
So I'm no longer bioterrorist?
Furry bioterrorist. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Hello.
You're still trash.
Yep. Water Jesus, aka Ricky, our Lord and Savior.
What up? Amen.
And the King of Cancer himself, Iron Skull, aka Mena. Anyways, Mena, what did you want to shout something out at the beginning, or
No.
Okay.
Follow my YouTube channel.
Well, I was gonna say, we're gonna do something new where, I'm gonna start off the podcast with shouting out my friends. Mario streamed for the first time in a while this week. He was playing Code Vein while we were yelling at each other playing Warzone. Kiko streamed a part of that. I don't know whether Kiko, did you stream the Warzone or did you stream the fucking Siege?
I streamed, I think, Warzone on YouTube and then Siege on Twitch.
Alright, well, you guys will find links to both of those down below. Ricky is still Ricky. Water Jesus, he's waiting on that sponsorship, but it's never going to happen. Just not ad-friendly. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Mena streaming a lot of things on Twitch.
Yeah, I got that. I've been streaming Darkest Dungeon and D&D a lot lately.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fun.
one D&D a game a week, and then throughout the week you'll just stream various things. Like you did Jurassic World last week, I think.
Oh, dude, I need to go back to that. I had to break my addiction.
Dude, you were pitting the fucking dinosaurs against each other.
Oh, dude, that was great.
Hang on. I gotta ask a question. What do you call it? Which is well, which is worse? Which is worse? Mena taking the dinosaurs that are bad and putting them in a legitimate pit to fight against each other, and the one that lives is the one that goes back to its pen, or me playing a game where you grow bonsai trees, and when one grows not the way I want it to, I shear it almost to death to make an example out of it for the others. Which is worse?
Probably the dinosaurs.
My sentiments exactly.
I mean, plants do feel pain.
They just can't express it.
That's why I only eat meat, homies.
You'll eat anything that expresses pain. Okay, got it.
No, I mean, because if you think about it, the animals don't feel pain when they're dead. the fucking plants do.
Well, until they're dead.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not always
but
a fast kill.
That's the thing. They can't process pain once their head is severed. That being said, for
Hang on. At what point is a plant considered dead? Exactly.
I had no
Like,
fucking-
you know,
it's completely rotted away.
Really? So it's still alive as you're eating it?
Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
Yeah, that's
Man,
why.
vegans
That's
are
why
fucked
eating
up.
plants are. Yeah, that's why eating plants is so fucked up.
With that, and vegans are eating the animals' food, which they're trying to save. So it's like, you're screwing them over either way.
Alright, so what I'm hearing is PETA is
look-
worse than we thought.
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
it because
Absolutely.
I need plants to breathe and eat. I don't need animals. We can supersede all the predators by becoming the new predators.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. If something doesn't have a natural predator, congrats. We are its natural predator now.
Or we could just hunt down all the natural predators it has and just supersede it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's only a matter of time
Like,
until,
think
if
about
something
it.
goes extinct, we're just gonna fucking, gene splice a new one.
I mean, not that. I mean,
I don't know, we might get
oh
to
wait,
that.
hold on,
You
hold
calling
on.
for
That
some
does
wheels?
bring up a
I'm
very
Johnny on the
fantastic
spot.
issue
I'll
I've
hook
been
you up.
thinking about lately, just because
What's that?
it's a very interesting thing. So, do you guys know about the Outback?
It's
in,
coming at you. I'll get back to it then.
in motherfucking
Australia?
Australia? Yeah, how it's
Yes.
a huge unlivable territory, right?
Yeah.
Well, they've
I mean,
talked about for
Australia
years
in
that
general.
they can flood. They can flood half of the country, or like the center half of the. They can flood the center half
Hey,
of
pal! What?
Australia, the Outback. and
Yeah.
it'll make all that region livable.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but you have a huge opportunity to bring a
Prevent the
shitload of
country
no, to
becoming
just
on
bring a
fire?
shitload of livable land.
Yes.
Like, because Australia is a lot bigger than most people think. Oh, she disconnected. That's funny.
Does anyone really think that Australia is small?
Well, yeah, there's people that just look at the maps and they're like, "Oh, Australia is smaller because it's not as prominent on the map."
Hey,
And it's potato.
Pretty
World
fucking
geography is
big on my
weird.
map.
Yeah. Now, but that being said, oh my god,
Of the-
are these the exact same
of
people?
the continents, it's probably the smallest, but it's still
it's
bigger
a
than
massive.
most.
It's a massive continent. It's bigger than
I
most,
mean-
actually.
The country is the continent.
Oh, this poor Bill. Stepped on my trash. But so the question is, should they terraform Australia to make it livable for a shitload more people?
I mean, sure, all they got to do is get KK Slider
But
to come to the island.
Well,
and
hang
then
on,
you can just
hang
terraform
on,
the
hang
island
on.
all you want.
Yeah.
If what do you call it? If you terraform the island and make it livable for the people, pretty sure that's gonna destroy the habitats of
It's going to
whatever.
destroy the habitats of anything that lives in that ultimately unlivable
Yeah,
area.
entire ecosystems would be.
But that's the
ruined.
thing. There's not a lot of ecosystems there. Anything that's there is not habitable by most animals or most humans.
I
mean, you
feel
have a
like
couple-
the things that are living there,
Yeah.
that they're gonna come by and fuck us up eventually.
Well,
That's
because-
what's gonna take over humanity.
Hold on.
The
gonna have
emus are gonna
all
come
the
back
benefit.
with a
Humans are
vengeance.
trash anyways. Humans suck. Just let the animals take
Okay,
over.
okay,
We're all gonna
but-
die either
If
way.
we
fuck
think
the
the
animals.
spiders, if we think like the fucking insects and spiders in Australia are bad enough, they're gonna combine together into one ginormous spider, and we're all fucked.
Yeah, I get the joke, but the way it's shown is it's not flooding the entire outback. It's just flooding. Okay, let's put it this way. You know
Outback Steakhouse?
the man-made canal. What is it called?
The Panama Canal?
The Panama Canal.
Panama Canal?
It would be the equivalent
Panama.
of
Oh, wait.
doing that to the center
Through the-
of Australia, and
Dude, that's a lie.
it's a lot, but it's doable and might be a lot easier given modern day technology. It's just whether or not is it morally right to terraform.
Also, hang on, here's the bit. I'm gonna have to buy a new map if they do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hang on. Well,
Are
here's
you
the thing,
getting
here's the
mad
thing.
about the map?
I'm kind of mad that I would have to buy a new map and remark it, because I would have to fucking factor in for the Australia Canal. But I mean, so let me take a look at this map. So the outback is like the center of Australia, right?
Yeah.
All of that uninhabitable space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the heart of
Well,
Australia.
I mean, it's actually the majority. Like, if you the outback, you know where the cities are towards like
Yeah, I see a lot of cities.
At the
They're
very
all by the
corner.
ocean.
yeah.
They're,
Now-
like towards the center, you have Alice Springs, Tennant Creek. That's it, really.
But you don't have
You have more towards the north, but I mean, for the east as well. But that's it.
But if you look at the continent, like 90% of it is unable to be touched because of how unhospitable it is. But if you were to flood it, not only would that do the economy, basically it would be like having a whole new country to explore, a whole new country to populate, and I think that could only be a benefit to humans. If somebody that doesn't quorum like, hey, do we give a shit about maybe the spiders or worms that live there?
See, I feel here's the thing. I feel like this is kind of a valid argument, but also kind of a meme argument of, so we put canal all the way through Australia. That's a big ass canal, just
It is a big
going
ass canal.
straight across. But no matter how you slice it, that's a big ass canal.
Oh, you're absolutely right. But
here's
imagine the
what I'm
jobs.
thinking. Well, yeah, that is also great for their economy, and any people looking for jobs. But here's what I'm thinking: whatever is currently inhabiting that, I mean, I feel like they're just gonna either stay and move into those new habitable spaces, or they're just gonna fucking move,
Or
die. But I mean, listen, fuck
But
those
is-
spiders.
Is that worth it? You're talking about so much land. It's not a little bit of land.
It's a lot.
It's like, are we willing to let go of Texas? Kind of land.
Well, I mean, it's we should put a canal through Texas.
I mean, that actually might help stop the tornadoes if you think about it.
This is some. You know what? We're coming up with some dumb shit here, and I'm okay with this.
Actually, if we terraformed and try to build, like, what's it called? Fake mountains? Or, like man-made mountains in the middle of the, Tornado Alley, you might actually reverse the damage that we did on it.
You know what?
Because Tornado Alley is a man-made hazard,
Yeah.
so we could reverse terraform it.
You know what? You know
Those
what?
tornadoes
Let's show
won't know
nature.
what happened.
Fuck you. You can't stop us. We do what we want.
Those tornadoes are gonna be like, huh? This was just fine a minute ago. What the hell happened?
I can't go through here.
I know. I used to just go through Oklahoma every June, and now I can't go through shit.
Why are the tornadoes so country?
What do you mean?
Because they
They've
go
got
through
cowboy
Texas,
hats on.
Oklahoma, Kansas, and both Dakotas, man.
Fucking
That's
Pecos
southern
too.
territory.
You fucking roped a tornado. You think they're not country?
Yeah.
I've seen those jokes where it's like, you're in Texas when somebody would actually grab a lawn chair, sit outside with a 6-pack of beer, and just watch the tornado come by.
Yep. Here comes another one.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's bigger than it was last week.
I don't know. I mean, how many animals are we gonna put extinct if we put that canal?
I would
But,
say a
like-
good number of animals, man.
But it's I mean, it's also the meme of it's Australia. Oh, Ricky was down here. Ricky, you bastard, come
It's also
back.
the meme of how much should we actually care?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's on the one hand, it's like all those animals, but on the other hand, I mean, we're not living there. We're not dealing with it.
It's an interesting scenario.
You know what else could we terraform?
There's-
What?
It's
What
a
else
shame.
can we terraform?
I feel like we've hovered on this topic a little longer.
Then we should. I mean, look, man. Fucking, we're just gonna turn into the Kryptonians from
Oh shit,
Superman.
I got shadows in my car. Oh fuck.
Either way, we did hover on that a little too long, but hey,
It was
it's
an
it's
interesting topic.
We certainly did hover around because we are in flying cars.
Shut up.
man. I just play as a spirit. You can hover around too, or the nurse. You know what? That's a good segue. Mena's playing DVD right now, farming for Blood Echoes. Pyramid Head is gonna be in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
I saw the Mori. That
He's too
was really.
Fast. I think he needs to be the slowest killer in the game, and he needs to be slow, or the nurse's speed. That's
How do you balance that out? Because I mean, with the nurse.
range.
I see. Because I was
Which
gonna
he
say with
has.
the nurse, that they balance her out because she has the blink. At least in my
That's
opinion.
For Pyramid Head though, like very much, like I'm surprised he doesn't have like a lot of one-shot abilities.
You know, with the release of Pyramid Head, if the nurse doesn't get a Silent Hill nurse costume, I'm gonna be surprised. Like it's the perfect thing. How could they miss upon this fucking marketing tool?
She already has a Silent Hill costume.
Does she?
She is a Silent Hill costume. You know the nurse is from Silent Hill, right?
You know, I feel like
are you memeing? Are you joking right now? You're joking right now, right?
I'd like to say yes. I really.
You didn't
Ricky,
know,
what have you done?
No idea.
Ricky. What?
Oh fuck! I can't believe you've done this.
Did you die?
Yes. What? Oh. It says I died. What do you mean? Did you die?
Right,
Either
it didn't
way.
show that you died. You just popped out of my car.
Man,
Like,
any thoughts of the fact that the survivor is Heather Mason instead of James since it's Pyramid Head?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Do you not?
Like, is it between the game or the movie? I don't know. There's too much weird shit about Silent Hill.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've literally never played Silent Hill.
Oh, bro.
I feel like there's a lot of games I haven't played that, you know, I probably should, and Silent Hill is one of them, and so is Dead Space.
Silent Hill's a little hard to get into. The only reason Silent Hill's good is because it's very cerebral, is the best way to describe it. Like,
cerebral.
Okay. My favorite aspect of the game is in Silent Hill, I think it's 2. I don't think anyone plays it. Or is it 1? I don't know. The numbers are weird. But in Silent Hill, the reason everyone plays it is because the game measures you. Every game measures you.
Interesting.
Right? Like,
right.
One of the first ones, or the second one, I don't know, it's hard to understand the timeline, is the game, depending on how often, like, if you overheal yourself, the game makes it seem like, oh, you care. Like, if you always top off your health, you're like, oh, you care about your health. You care about how healthy you are.
Right.
If you just leave yourself, like, if you only heal yourself when absolutely necessary, the game's like, oh, you don't give a shit. Like the object is more, like you're only willing to heal yourself to continue, not because you're concerned over your own health.
Right. So basically, it's trying to profile you based off your actions.
It's trying
and how
to
you
mentally
interact.
profile you.
Right.
And that's always been, like, the biggest draw to me in those games. Like, and depending on how, like, what interactions you did, what choices you went with, who you helped, who you killed, what you did, it changed the outcome for you. Another very interesting thing about that is there was a Wii game of it, right?
Right. What's that?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, there's a Wii game, like the best console ever made.
A very strong.
Strong but accurate.
I mean,
yeah, there was.
Do I have full Devour Hope? I do.
Kiko, what game was it? Which Silent Hill?
Shattered Memories.
Shattered Memories. So, oh yeah, Shattered Memories is a reimagination of the first game.
Is it?
Yes, I remember it distinctly.
Because here's the Silent Hills I know. Silent Hill 2, I think that was PlayStation 2? What do you call it? I know that one. You play James Sunderland, dead wife. She sends you a message.
That's the second one.
Yeah, second. That I was literally saying that. I said at the beginning, I'll kill you.
My bad. That's
you
the one
will
that
be
profiles,
my fucking dead wife.
Look, that's the one that profiles you based on your decisions and how often you heal yourself.
I see.
But Shattered Memories had a very interesting concept. right?
Right. Reimagining first game.
Where
I don't know what the first game is.
It wasn't based on your choices, right? Your choices really didn't matter.
What is
But
this fucking Bioshock Infinite?
Here's what it did. Whatever you looked at, it recorded how long, how often, and how many times you looked at something. And that is very, that's a very interesting concept that someone should definitely abuse in VR. But basically, if you looked at, let's say, there's a store, there's a strip mall, or not a strip mall, what is it called? There's a bunch of stores.
Fucking
Plaza?
outlet mall?
I guess. But there's a bunch of stores and malls and shops.
Shopping center?
Yeah, that's
Plaza,
shopping center.
shopping center.
But yeah, there's a big shopping center, and you can go through some of the stores. And, let's say one of the stores is either, or the mechanics or the porn shop, both have some dirty pictures on the wall. And if you look at them, the game's like, oh, he horny, he's lustful. And the game will start to change.
Every single little thing about you, huh?
It'll what's it called? For the characters you run across, there's a cop that you come in. Well, it depends depending on what you've been doing.
The cop that you come in.
Yes. Okay, hold on. I'm getting to that. Is that if you've been looking at sexy stuff, her outfit is absurdly sexualized.
Beautiful.
Right.
Now, was this only for the Wii?
I believe so. I think it might have been on other platforms, but there's this whole thing about moving your camera with the Wii remote, so I think it's only on the Wii.
Let's see. I found the description for Shattered Memories. Do you guys want me to read it out to you?
Well, I mean...
Don't read this description. Just
No,
what's this
It was
it's a
also
quick
on the
summary.
PSP.
Yeah, that would make sense. It was a very low graphic, but it was interesting how it measured you. Oh yeah, so characters would be much more sexualized. Women would be super sexy and guys would be super ugly. And the enemies would be very feminine looking, but very slimy. And that was gross. Now, if you started to look at weird things, or if you looked at the void, or if you just looked at things that shouldn't exist, your reality would start being distorted. Things wouldn't make sense. You would turn right 4 times and end up in a different place. And your enemies would be impossibly geometric. They would be spirals and squares, and entire sections of them would be missing to show, your detachment from reality.
Interesting.
And it was, and all the Silent Hill games have been very interesting in that manner. Everything you do is great. In Silent Hill 2, one of your final fights is you have to fight 4 goddamn pyramid heads.
Jesus.
And you can't win.
Legitimately, you can't win? There's no way to win?
The game presents you with an impossible choice. What do you do? Imagine you're faced with 4 of the strongest enemies in the game. And that you're fighting them for hours. Or
right.
What do you do? What would your option be? Because there's also a chance that this is a hallucination. How would you approach this? Because the game reads how long you fought. If you just emptied every bullet you had into it, healed yourself every time you got hit, the game's you're determined. You believe in yourself. You're gonna fight till the last thing. If you just let yourself be executed, the game's yeah, you want to die.
I'd probably fight until my last breath.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Also, Pyramid Head is supposed to be a representation of the guy from the second games. It's supposed to be him.
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be, what do you call it, Simmerloop is fucking lust or some shit.
No. That's the nurses. The nurse is a symbol of lust because it's a weird thing.
I was gonna say if I remember right, there's a fucking what do you call it? I've seen
There's lust enemies and stuff.
well I was gonna say I saw clips from Silent Hill 2 where James fucking walks in on Pyramid Head just fucking absolutely ass blasting.
That has been that's been one of the most debated scenes in video game history, where because it's hard to determine what it is because you see Pyramid Head either assaulting or you see Pyramid Head assaulting a nurse, whether it's sexual or physical, we are not sure. Because these nurses are monsters, but the nurses are also representations of his lust. So in one way you could see it as the lust and physical force he wanted to do on them, or you could see it as his way of overcoming that lust. That when he lusted after the cold-hearted nurses, when his sick wife was dying of cancer, is he overcoming that or being consumed by it? And there's a lot of stuff like that. Also, Pyramid Heads. Also, by the way, that's not a sword.
What?
Pyramid Head does not have a sword.
Knife.
It's called the Great Knife.
Yeah, I figured it was a knife.
Yeah, it's shaped like a big ass knife, and
I figured it was something like a fucking either a butcher's knife or a fucking butter knife.
Yeah. Now that's the.
Give him a spoon.
That's one of the funnest parts of Silent Hill. Is there's a moment where you can follow Pyramid Head to his chamber, and he'll put down the knife.
Right.
And he'll walk away, and you can carry the knife. You can take it with you.
Ooh.
Can you take it into that final fight?
Yeah, you can take it into the final fight and actually execute the Pyramid Heads with it. It's really interesting. And one of my favorite playthroughs, which belong to the two best friends, when they did it, is in the final fight you have a choice of being consumed by your grief or executing the person that you are projecting on, right?
Right.
And the Let's Players are like, if we're relieving ourselves of the burden, they equipped the Great Knife and finished it with that.
Interesting. So it's something that, you know, the what you choose to do it with, it doesn't make a difference, but it was that they made that choice themselves, because it's the matter.
Also for that matter, Pyramid Head is a bit of a weird figure in Silent Hill, because he's a representation of James, is that his name?
James Sunderland, yeah.
Yeah. He's a representation of James. I don't think he's James.
I said Sunderland.
James Sunderland.
But
I'm like almost 100% sure that's his name.
what's it called? There's no okay, because the two we got for DVD we got the Killer, Pyramid Head, and we got
Heather Mason.
the chick. Now the
Which,
question,
hang on, I was gonna say, JJ made me feel stupid because they listed her as Cheryl Mason in in the actual trailer, which I'm like, wait, hold, what?
Yeah, no, it
Which-
did mess me up with that. But the reason I'm confused by it is because she never actually sees Pyramid Head.
Yeah.
She and that's one of the weirdest things for me.
I feel like the reason that they're going with that decision is,
Maybe she's a more recognizable.
yeah, out of all of them, like I can recognize what, you know, generally James Sunderland looks like, but I mean he's kind of like, you know, he's got a generic design.
He's got a generic design, but another dude projected
It is in line with DVD, but I mean I'm sure that they wanted something that stood out a little bit more Heather Mason.
Yeah, but so the reason I'm not a fan of her, if you've ever played Silent Hill 3 or seen the movies, is that
Never played it.
both of them are very different characters. because in the movies, Silent Hill is mysticism, it's magic, it's witches and demons and all that, which does
people
not
being burnt at the stake.
which doesn't make sense really. If you look at Silent Hill, the games, it's like it's a strange place where strange things happen, but they're just a projection of yourself.
Yeah, it's all in your own head.
Yeah. Now, what's it called? Because in her game, also, at first, this is what pyramids had power to send people into cages.
Yeah.
I had first thought that was a reference to the boxing or the bed boss fight, because in the second game there is, how do you lean with Ghostface real quick?
I don't fucking know. I've never played Ghostface.
But the reason, what's it called? That I thought the cages were just
References.
a reference to the bed boss fight, because there's this really fucked up boss fight where, what's her name?
Are you fighting on a bed, or are you fighting?
No.
a
You're
bed?
fighting a bed. You're in a fleshy room with holes, and you see a bed that tries to trap you and crush you. And it's supposed to be a reference that I think at some points, the girl, she was raped by someone, or sexually assaulted by someone, and that boss fight was a representation of that
What
that
she felt,
creepiness. And it's conceptually very cool.
So you thought Pyramid Head's ability was a reference to that?
Yeah.
It is Mori. It's I don't know.
It's pretty much what I expected.
I expected more. Because I mean, you know, with the Death Slinger, they did something interesting in my opinion.
Oh yeah, the Death Slinger was quite interesting.
Anyway, fucking Pyramid Head, Silent Hill, Mena, make a fucking investigation where, you know, you're gonna profile everyone like Silent Hill.
I'd love to do that.
Damn me, look, man.
I'm down, but like, also that's a feature. We need to have an actual dangerous, or not dangerous. I want a Spectre sweep where there is very, very possible permanent effects. Like, either someone gets charged with a crime, or like you know, like the chance of either being jailed or permanently killed. Like someone's soul gets eaten or some shit. Or their body gets possessed. All that good shit.
Oh, fucking possession. That's a fun one.
Fuck, how do you play Ghosts?
Not very well. That's how. Either way, moving on. Next topic. Fucking, what else did I have? I was looking up shit for Silent Hill. I'm like,
oh, you had Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, yeah. Jimmy Fallon is over party, trending on Twitter because, as you know, Zoomers are finding out, a lot of their favorite celebrities have done blackface before.
It's almost like white people do it. My inner wokeness came out.
They fucking conceal your power level, homie. You can crucify Kiko for various things later.
Hey,
Kiko, you
sir.
wore blackface?
No.
Yeah, have you? Okay. That's one
You
thing-
actually, you know what, Kiko?
Is your persona black? Like,
Persona.
Kiko, do you take offense that it kind of wouldn't surprise me if you did?
But
if you had told me that you had done blackface before, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd assumed it was for some sex thing.
I shit you not. You wouldn't be the first one to kind of like ask or kind of view me in that spotlight.
Okay,
be honest.
Kiko, I feel like there's. Hang on, hold up.
No. So okay.
Oh,
so
someone to do blackface just so you can get laid.
That's pretty much like what one person in my high school had told me at one point. They're like, hey, you know what? We should roleplay. And I was like, what should we roleplay? And it's like,
Okay,
yeah,
you know,
do
Kiko.
this.
Okay, you need to tell us exactly how many of these fucking. Hey, let's roleplay. Exactly how many of these stories have done, because you've already told us about you being a goddamn furry, and now you're gonna tell us that there's actually a chance that you dress up as blackface just so.
Okay,
you
hang
can
on,
look up-
Kiko.
Right?
There
Am I
was
wrong?
someone who told you to do blackface for a roleplay.
Yes.
Why?
They legit thought it would be hot for me to, quote unquote, recreate old school theatrical nonsense that included blackface, and I was like,
So they
see?
thought it would be fun. They thought it would be hot for you doing a minstrel show.
Pretty much.
Who the fuck you
are
get
you
involved
around?
with?
Yes, exactly. See, me and Ricky had the same exact thought. Who the fuck are you around? Who the fuck
Like-
do you talk to, man? Who the fuck finds blackface minstrel shows sexy?
Rule 34.
Okay.
Rule
Who
30, yeah.
finds white people doing blackface and minstrel shows?
I mean, do you want an
Fucking
Asian man doing
racist?
blackface?
Sure, I don't know.
Should just find Gyarus in Japan.
Yeah, young little
But
girls.
that Kiko. Now, all right. What made you say no on this?
The fact that I'm a white Mexican, and guess what? Every fucking Mexican thinks I'm white, and every white thinks I'm
Understandably so.
Mexican.
So you're
What white
in a
person
lose-lose
takes a look at
situation.
you and goes, "Oh, look at that fucking Mexican."
The fact that, I believe it or not,
Like, if they
It's the
looked at me or
moment I
Mena,
speak.
they would say that.
You look very white, my man.
I don't.
He looks a lot less
You look
white
like
than me or Kiko.
I could also see someone misjudging you for a chubby Asian.
You know, I have gotten the Asian comment before. I get that a lot from JJ, actually.
Like honestly,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think in high school I thought you were Asian.
Yeah, it's not a big percentage of Asian.
I mean,
Anyway,
like,
hang on. We're getting off the topic here. Okay, Kiko, please continue.
Why
So,
specifically did you say no? Was it because you were woke, or because you found it morally wrong, or did you just not want to put on the paint?
I found it to be morally wrong, because I know what's right
You
and
pissed
I know
on a
what's
woman.
wrong. Hey, sir, we roleplayed as
It's-
fucking wolves.
what?
No. It's okay. No, you know what? It's okay.
Furries.
Because now we know where Kiko's morals lie. We obviously know that pissing on a woman dressed up as a wolf is okay. But dressing up as a black person is not okay. But that brings up other questions, but I will not ask him right now because you're still talking.
So, pretty much, and to answer your question, these are the freaky, horny girls that kind of want to get off on almost everything. That I
I call bullshit
hang on.
kinda.
well, just
Kiko, aren't you a super horny guy who's trying to get off on anything?
yes, I'm like Quagmire. Yes.
Hey, okay, I fail to see what the issue is. You make it sound like you're the innocent one here. I feel like you're just as guilty because you're actively associating with them. Like, you know what they're like. You specifically know what they're like.
Yeah,
In
and
fact, you probably
actively-
hear how freaky they are, and then you go fucking talk to them because of it.
You're like, I can make this work.
I shit you not. This chick was like, "Hey, let's
Ricky, can I apply? Can I play?
Hey, shit, you know,
Sure.
this chick was like, "Hey, you down to roleplay? Cause I know you're this guy." So I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
You
Cause
have a
I figured,
reputation?
He's got a fucking reputation, man.
yeah.
The stories that we've heard about Kiko. Like,
Yeah.
hang on. Not all the stories come from Kiko either.
Nope.
Either way, continue. Your reputation.
So, chick practically tells me she knows me because of my reputation. Proceeds to say, "Let's roleplay." And I was like, you know what? I'm practically down. Why? Just a chance to get into a girl's pants.
Hashtag Kiko is over party.
Listen. You know what? Kiko. Now, hang on. I knew a guy once like you.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Not you. It was another dude who's fucking white. Except he was kind of like a fucking little elf. Short as fuck. He was also a horny bastard. Now, Kiko, I have to ask you. Is there video of this somewhere
Oh my god.
No.
that I need to fucking worry about?
Hashtag
Yeah, is
No.
there a video of Kiko in blackface saying,
Hello, my baby! Are you gonna appear
Oh
in
my
some
God,
direct
Daniel!
OnlyFans?
what?
Sir.
Have you never seen Looney Tunes? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes, I have
Kiko, are
seen-
you gonna fucking open an OnlyFans?
for my
I'm
stories.
concerned.
Just for my stories, and if that doesn't get enough traction, I will post feet pics for money.
Uh-huh. I feel like no one's gonna pay for that, because I'm pretty sure they can get it for free.
Okay, Kiko. Question. The girl in question, what kind of race was this girl? Was she white? Was she black?
White
Was she
as fuck.
Hispanic?
There's no way she was
She was mixed.
Kiko,
She was what?
Okay, she was mixed what?
She was Asian mixed with Puerto Rican.
She went to our high school.
There's some leniency.
I want to say she did.
Is
just for
there?
like a few, like for maybe a week or so, and then transferred out.
Okay, Kiko, I have to ask a question. What if she was black?
You know, I wouldn't doubt that.
What? Wait,
No.
wait,
Like,
hold on.
would you have gone through with it? Were she black?
Dude, before she could even ask the question, I'd be like, nope, my morals are here. I don't want to do anything that would,
What, you wouldn't
break
wanna
the
do a black
line.
girl? That's fucking racist.
Hey,
See,
I
Kiko,
had
at least
my
the other
fair share
fucking
of
horny
chocolate.
bastard that I knew, he was, he's like, oh, I'm trying to get one of every race.
Hey, I had my taste of chocolate.
Man had a punch card or some shit.
Hang on. Are we talking about the brown sugar chocolate, or are we talking about the chocolate that comes out of your asshole?
Every
No,
kind of
he
chocolate.
already refused that with the fucking furry story.
You know,
That's true.
honestly,
That's true.
I've always been concerned about
About what?
that. I don't know. It's like I like beauty, but I don't think I would
What? Hang on, Kiko. You would most likely have this experience. Please tell us, inform us, enlighten us.
Oh my god.
I'm joking. Don't. Not right now.
Well, you
Because, I
see,
mean-
eating ass takes skill.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Kiko, shut the fuck up.
Hey, in the words of my good man, ass man, booty is love. Booty is life. Follow the road.
Booty is more important than water.
I hate
Exactly.
it here.
It's a little hilarious because like I've bit girls' asses before and they get shy about it. They're like, don't do that. I'm like, why? I don't know. It feels weird. I'm like, I really never mind.
I mean, that's
The
literally
story gets
eating
too graphic.
ass.
Yeah.
Either way.
No, there's a difference. Eating ass is like You eating the booty.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've been in the grave, but after I've slapped it. Shit's fun.
Alright, anyway. So, okay, we found out that Kiko has done blackface to get
I
laid.
said no.
Hashtag
I have
cancel
not
Kiko.
done blackface. to
Where
get
you've been
laid.
approached and asked to do so.
Someone
Okay,
I've been
believe,
approached with the idea.
somebody
and
believed that you would be willing to say yes. Is the moral of the story.
I feel like most.
I'm
of
wondering
us
who the
believe
fuck thinks that looks good enough to get them aroused.
That's what
What
I'm
do you
thinking.
mean?
Because I was gonna say, like, what if, like, it was a girl who was a white supremacist, and, like, what if, like, she hooked up with Kiko, and she
Like,
said,
yes,
you know, I
turn
think
me
it'd be
on.
really
What
hot-
triggers you?
I'm
Oh,
sure
be
you have-
racist.
I think it'd be really hot if you dressed up Mein Führer, Adolf Hitler. Like, what if you,
Actually,
like, grew
that
up
is
in
like the leather. What's it called?
not
The
BDSM.
leather. The leather Nazi outfit is a very kind of fetish.
Yeah,
Is
it
it
is.
really?
more
Yeah.
common than we would think. I'm sure Kiko's worn it.
No, I've
Shit.
actually seen some females wear it, and you know, my history with Pornhub has been,
I see.
white
You made them
exception.
wear it. I got you.
Yeah.
Kiko, I'm afraid to bring up topics now because I feel like you're gonna have some fucking story related to it. That's
So
a
basically, you've seen the videos that said, I like men to enjoy my cunt.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna stop that right there, sir.
role. Daniel's committed crimes against Skyriminder people.
The minute I mentioned my cunt is apparently that's the limit. Okay, got it.
Or
Not
No,
talking
the
about
limit is
blackface
just
or anything, but just
no.
talking about
Hang
my
on,
cunt.
hang on. The moment that Kiko brings up the story, we've already hit fucking limit.
We've hit rock bottom.
no.
Yeah.
There was I remembered somebody asked me to do another story after the furry one.
I'll kill you, Kiko. I will fucking kill you.
You know,
Like right now, I will have Ricky go kill you.
it took me a second to realize, like,
Here we got my gun.
are you guys talking about?
All right, so
Would you like to elaborate, Mena? Continue your thought.
are
Before
you
Kiko
questioning?
continues on about another thought.
Another thought or another thought?
Yes.
Good answer.
Kiko, you concern me. You concern me greatly.
I concern everybody.
I just stopped caring.
The women that you're with also concern me.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
that-
concerned about. Like, who the fuck
Kiko,
are you hanging out
Kiko.
with?
I'll kill you.
Hey, look, my choice in women is very extremely dangerous and
Or?
deadly.
Diverse,
Hey.
culturally
Hang on,
enriched.
hang on.
Hold on.
Well, is it culturally enriched? Is it diverse?
Let me stop you
I
right
mean,
I feel
there.
like
sure.
it's just pinky as shit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, would you call it culturally diverse if he's had sex with a furry who likes to actually dress up and roleplay as a wolf, and then
I
another
would not
woman
call that
who's not even
culturally diverse.
I just call that
it's
Rule
certainly,
34
it's
in
certainly
person.
culturally diverse in something. May not be a good thing, but it's
Rule
only
34.
culturally diverse in something. Apparently, he likes hooking up with a chick, or he almost hooked up with a chick who wanted him to dress up as blackface. Who's not even.
Kiko, I kind of don't believe that you didn't take that fucking offer.
Javi, I have morals.
I feel like
I'm not
Do you?
that. Hey, as much as I'm a horny fuck, I know where
I
my.
have
I know where my.
standards.
Yeah, I practically fucking have standards.
Practically,
you
practically is not standards.
Barely.
Standard.
You pissed on a chick. That's very
Ricky.
low still.
Ricky, you know I've done worse. I guarantee,
Dude.
if you look at me in the eye,
You've done
you-
worse than pissing on a chick. Kiko,
first
that's
off-
not
Hold
helping
on.
your argument.
What standards are you like trying to label? Like the fucking
Okay, look, I have
underground
moral.
negative shit?
Look. I have moral standards. Okay.
But now when it
I-
comes to sex, that goes all out the window with you, doesn't it?
Pretty
Dog
much.
soup, check. Piss on him, check. Blackface, check. What have
Hey,
you done?
sir,
You just
I
said you
said
did
no
worse.
to
He
that.
hasn't
You're gonna
done
fucking
blackface.
murder somebody for
Hey.
sex, I bet you.
No. How am I
Kiko, how many
That's
dead
why
is
you're
there?
obsessed with the music video of A7X's A Little Bit of Heaven. That's
Oh
why,
my
isn't it?
god!
Hey, no, it's
That's
not.
why you're obsessed with that video, isn't it? Confess, you motherfucker. Confess.
Water Jesus is fucking coming in hot. Good
I know.
lord, welcome to the confessional.
Water Jesus is making Kiko
Holy
confess for his
shit.
sins. Repent. Repent.
This man right here, nonstop, weeks, months straight, was obsessed with the song, and particularly the video of Avenged Sevenfold's A Little Piece of Heaven.
Kiko,
Now I
hang
know
on,
why.
hold up, man. See, I would like to defend you, because you know what? I like that song too, but I don't like it that much.
Javier,
Like,
Javier.
the video's okay, because,
Javier,
you know,
I
I
can't
appreciate
explain myself.
animation, but the song itself is good. Of course you can't explain yourself, you can barely speak.
Kiko, my
There was
dude.
a point where I went through a phase where I thought necrophilia was kind of hot because I watched a movie
you
based on
Kiko,
necrophilia.
man.
Did you seriously? Good
Kiko,
fucking
my dude.
Hold up.
Dude.
Are you gonna participate
Go.
in monking?
Kiko, go baptize yourself or something, please.
Look,
You need to,
look,
you need to
Be
believe
reborn
in God.
again. You need
Hold up. Hang on,
Be reborn.
hang on. Mena, here's what I need. I need you to fucking come up with the most cancerous shit that you can for Kiko. I need you to fucking put him through 50 days of your cancer treatments, and maybe, just maybe, after all of that, he will find God at the end of it. If he does not, then we're just gonna have to shoot him in the head.
He's gonna find God, but he's gonna be buried in a pair of socks that's gonna be thrown across the street
Holy
because
crap!
he
This
wore the
person,
wrong pair of socks that morning.
this person jumped off the hook. That's wild.
Anyway, I know we had other things we have to
Kiko.
talk about, but
Me-
I'm scared to bring them up
You can-
now.
Like, Kiko, try to attempt to, in any way, shape, or form, justify your obsession with this. Or your brief, admiration with necrophilia.
Alright. So there was a movie, I completely forgot the name of it, but
Is it the
pretty
one
much-
where they fuck a zombie? I feel like it's the one where they fuck a zombie.
I don't think so. No, it was a couple where they actually have a thing for fucking dead bodies, and then, I guess the girl, gets really, into it, whereas the guy doesn't. She ends up murdering, the boyfriend, and then ends up fucking his body, and then apparently there's, a two-parter movie for it. So I was like, that's really interesting. And then I kind of, got into it, I read into it, and then I was like, huh. And then I watched the music video for A Little Piece of Heaven, and I was just like, oh shit, that's what was going on. And then after that, I started kind of thinking about it.
Wait, hold up. Had you not seen that Had you seen the music video before and you didn't know what the fuck was going on?
Pretty much.
wow.
Hang on. Okay. You guys know my fucking can is concerned emote. Anytime Kiko opens his mouth, that's my fucking face.
Yeah, that's it's starting to become mine now.
Kiko. You need to be stopped. You're a monster.
Dude, we're barely scratching the
Can I-
fucking surface.
You're not helping. Kiko.
So,
This is
what
why
do
I
you,
get fucking
Kiko?
crucified. Don't
What
ever
the
get
fuck?
arrested. They'll have a
what
field
the
day
fuck
with
do
you.
you define as worse? What's the worst then? What is at the fucking bottom tier of this shit?
I kind of don't want to know the answer because I feel like we're gonna fucking have to edit it out of the podcast because it's probably gonna be illegal. Kiko, you're laughing in a way that is concerning me.
Yeah, the fact that you're not even trying to defend yourself, you're just laughing at sheer beauty. This is
He did
actually
murder
really
somebody.
scary.
It's because it's funny how your hobbies reacting.
You let those hookers go, Kiko.
Hey. I'm not gonna
See,
say.
Mena, this is
I'm not gonna say
this
the
is what's
worst thing
happened
that
ever
I've
since
done.
you left the podcast. This is what's
What's
happened.
been going
Ever
on
since-
for
This
the
is more
past
your fault. Man.
6 weeks?
Ever since we, had Kiko join.
Yeah, ever since Kiko joined us for the very first time, it has been nothing
Hey,
but
to be fair,
absolute shitfest.
To be fair, you haven't been online when I started it. That's not true at all. We have Ricky here, and Ricky was a narcoleptic for a bit, but you are beyond that. You and Adam, you're both really bad about it.
I can say that at least with podcasts, I've been consistent. I have a spot reserved, and I don't have to ask for it, but I show up basically every time. So that's a
I
plus.
mean, fucking Kiko and I mean, to be fair, you, Kiko, and Daniel are usually fucking people, and I just have one other person. I'm gonna start kicking you guys
Yeah, I
off.
brought both of them in.
It's just like bitch, I need new people here. Get the fuck out of here.
I need to cycle you guys out. I need a break from Kiko.
Kiko, I gotta know.
I need my face to fucking make a different expression for once, okay?
Kiko,
You need to stop
I need that.
worrying every single time
Kiko,
we have podcasts.
what's the worst you've done? Tell me now before I go either to your house with holy water or my fucking gun.
Go anyways. You need to go
No, I
anyways. Even
can't.
if you find out what is the
You
worst.
need to have both, man.
What is the worst?
No, I can't say it on.
Hang on. Someone fucking Minna. Make him. You've seen that image of the priest spraying the baby with that holy water gun?
Yeah, oh, dude, I love that.
Photoshop it where it's me holding the baby is Kiko, and what do you call it? Ricky
Ricky's
is the
priest.
Pope.
Kiko, Kiko's verifying that it's really that bad. He can't say it on podcasts.
Okay. Minna, what's up?
I'm gonna end the Kiko show by telling you one of the worst things I've done to someone. And it's not the bad thing, but basically, I once had a girlfriend that cheated on me, right?
Right.
I fucked her mom, her sister, and her best friend.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh God.
You know what, Minna? Chad energy right there. Chad energy.
I was livid
Kiko,
and
it's
not
not
because
over.
she
You
cheated
will
on
tell
me.
us after the podcast.
because he was white.
It was Kiko, wasn't it?
No.
Kiko the
Oh,
bastard.
plot twist.
Plot twist.
Plot
It was
twist.
me.
You know what?
Kiko the whole time.
That also wouldn't surprise me.
It's like I look at him straight in the face, and all you see is just nothing but purely.
No, please don't ever do that.
Kiko.
Not
Stop.
energy.
It's
Stop,
time to
like-
move on.
It's time to move on. You know,
Yeah,
fucking,
it's time to move
I
on.
actually
Let's
had
go.
something fucking wholesome on board. I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Fucking
No,
the Night
I-
Colonel Tom Moore deserves better than this, okay?
Yeah, but how about we please bring that up right now?
Okay,
please, for the love
I'm
of
just
God.
gonna. It's not even something to really talk about. It's just something I wanted to fucking bring up. It's kind of old. So there's this dude. He's 100 years old. Fucking lives over in the UK. He served. I don't know when he served, but he was made an honorary colonel on his 100th birthday. And for his 100th birthday, to commemorate it, he did a fundraiser where he walked around. He did laps around his garden 100 times. You know, one for each year of his life. He raised a fuckload of money for health services. I think this was like 2 months ago. 2 months or 2 weeks, I don't know. I have no concept of time right now. Now he's being knighted by Queen Elizabeth, which is why I refer to him as the Knight Colonel Tom Moore.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So you know, if you find yourself with a little bit of excess money, maybe donate it to charity in honor of the Knight Colonel. He would be proud of you.
Is this your way
Kiko,
of,
the Knight Colonel Tom Moore knows that you can do better. Do better.
I will do better.
Stop being horny. Go to horny jail.
Never stop being horny, man.
That's like me.
Mena, you've
putting on
heard
a
his
chastity
stories.
belt.
Excuse me.
That's so free change.
By the way, he's Hobby. He served in the Second World War, which would make
Oh,
sense.
good lord.
Yeah, he served in the Second World War.
God damn.
I know.
You know what?
Oh.
Absolute Chad right there. Absolute Chad.
Good for
Thank
him.
you.
Good for him.
Thank you, Knight Colonel Moore, for your service.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for
Man, may
showing
you
those
continue
nuts
to walk around
bastards
your
what's water.
garden. Okay, let's end on. I'd like to call it a high note, but it's a better note than Kiko's stories. Let's recommend tattoos.
Okay.
Who has a recommendation that they would like to bring up first?
Bass guitar. Because Ricky and I are in a band together. I'm the drummer, he's the bassist. I think that would be pretty fucking sick.
Noted.
10 patty burger because of his legacy.
I said something else in the fucking chat other than
That
Oh,
was in the chat.
other than that,
He literally
Um,
was
Basic
yeah, we're
bitch.
skipping over you. Mena,
What's up?
what would you suggest for Ricky's next tattoo? Not related to the 10 patty.
Fucking. Who's the guy from Reading Rainbow?
We'll see.
I mean,
Alright,
the
guys.
host.
The host?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lamar
Guy in
Burton
the
or
red
some
suit.
shit?
The guy in the red sweater and all.
Why?
Get him tattooed.
He's a sick dude. He broke today on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, LeVar Burton. If I remember right, I think there's a story like he was. He has a sex class that he teaches.
What?
Dude,
I
he's
believe
just a-
so.
He's just a national.
That
treasure.
idea is now just revoked.
We're taking that idea back. We're putting it in the trash.
oh, I got one.
Okay, Kiko, go.
Nathan from Death Clock.
Yeah, I feel like
I
that's
can
just
see
a
that.
fucking self-portrait for Ricky.
I am not
You know,
that buff.
Hey, why do you have a
We
wild
need a drawing of Ricky in that style.
But a lot fucking skinnier.
I feel like if he has like a picture of Nathan Explosion from Death Clock, it's like, why do you have a picture of yourself if you're white, Ricky? It's so weird.
Ricky, you can just tell him that's your motivation. You're trying to bulk up to be like that.
It's true. Just like my upper body and like never do leg day and shit.
Oh my god. Ricky, my recommendation for you, what do you call it? I don't know if you already have it, mainly because you have God knows how many tattoos, and you're gonna have God knows how many more in the future.
20 something right now. I forgot. I lost track. Wait, I'm in the 20s.
Good. Hey, yeah, sounds about right.
How much do I have to pay to get you to get my my Iron Skull line?
Your
Subscribe.
logo tattooed on.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Which one? The one that you have on your
The-
channel, like
the
the
nice
fucking
skull
skull with the
one.
wings?
Yeah, the skull with the wings.
I feel like he might do that for free.
How big do you want it?
Enough
I don't know,
for
Ricky.
people
It's a
to-
pretty cool
enough
skull.
for people to ask.
Big
How much would you have to pay? You would have to cover the tattoo, first of all, its whole price, and then like the fee. For me, actually doing that would be like, I don't know, another
Hang on.
$400.
Does Ricky have to mention your channel every time he's asking about it, or can he come up with his own
yes,
story?
You're gonna have to figure out that question. Like people are gonna ask that question. Like, so what's this for?
Like,
I feel like
size-wise
Rick is the kind of guy
and
who,
location
you know,
would matter most. Like, the more
he
obvious it's
just-
gonna be, the more expensive it'll be.
Yeah, that's
Listen.
it.
Ricky has enough tattoos that I feel like it might not even warrant questions. It's just like, oh yeah, I like a skull. He could say
it'll
that and
blend
it'd be
in.
entirely believable.
I have 2 skulls on my back already.
He could put it with those. Mena is the third skull.
I'm gonna go with the cemetery
Like
though.
the third umbilical cord.
There's gonna be a fucking like a nice like scenic cemetery and all like nightfall and shit. Like, why is there a fucking skull with wings on it at the bottom?
it shows the fucking death.
Like, there's a
rise up
moon, there's a
eventually.
tree, there's a mausoleum, a gravestone, a tombstone. Then there's a fucking skull with the wings that's like out of context.
Yes.
Because the skulls I have are like realistic, and then his little artistic skull looks all cartoony. Like, doesn't match at all. What the fuck is that?
It's not.
We could make it. We could make it more realistic.
Okay.
Like the one that I've seen. It's a pretty realistic skull.
No, that's not realistic.
Well, I mean, the fucking. Are we
Are we
talking about your
Are we talking
cartooning?
about the same skull?
I feel like we might not be, because there's your fucking regular skull that you use for most things. I think now, like the one that I drew for goddamn Trivia Murder Party, and then there's the other one where it's got fucking 2 wings, fucking one on each side. Which I think that's still your fucking Twitter profile picture.
Okay, what was your recommendation?
Fucking the symbol for Linkin Park.
Oh,
Wait.
That
Pre Chester
wasn't
or
being
post?
incorporated.
Pre.
Pre
Okay.
Chester.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
I can definitely fit that somewhere, actually.
Or just Chester.
Just an entire tattoo chest. That wouldn't be bad either.
I mean, I've seen a few.
Yeah.
So you know the idea where everyone tattoos something on their forearm and extends to their hand as if the tattoo of the forearm is part of their hand?
Yeah.
There's one Chester and a microphone, and you're holding like this, the microphone for Chester.
Oh,
Nice.
That's great.
You know what? Ricky, another suggestion. Fucking, you know that fucking shitty meme I did of you in the fucking ghetto ass clouds with all the fucking with Dallas, Chester, my liver, whole
Yeah.
campaign. Fucking how much for that, homie? How much for that? How much have that tattooed on you?
That'd be a pretty
That's-
big one too.
Yeah, that's a definitely detailed one, homie.
Like, first of all, like it's big, detailed, color, and where can I fit that?
On your back, maybe.
My back is done, dude. My whole back is done.
Is
He
it?
literally done his back.
Yeah. Like no one knows because I don't walk around shirtless all the time.
Yeah.
And no one really sees my back, or my hair covers it. So
You need
yes,
to
my
wear
whole
some
back
white
is done.
beaters, homie.
He wears
do, but
white
not out in
beaters at
public.
home.
Yeah, but now I'm
No. What we need to do is get you a virgin killer dress,
Oh,
so you can
God.
show off your back.
You're fucking. You know what? Hang on.
The
We're
most you see
starting
is at
a
is at a pool
Patreon.
party.
Sign up to see Ricky in a fucking Virgin Killer sweater.
To be honest, on him it would just be a fuzzy vest.
The most tattoos you'll see is when I'm actually shirtless at a pool or something. Otherwise, I wear a regular shirt and yeah, it's covered. Like my whole back is done. Both my rib cages are done. Upper chest. My arms are pretty visible, and I'm working on my legs and calves.
So Ricky's just asleep at this point.
Almost.
Yeah, he's working on it. He's certainly working on it. That's why I said we should all make some suggestions for his next one.
Yeah. And I'm getting a tattoo next month already. It's to add on to my left arm.
Ricky gets tattoos left and right.
Oh,
I get tattoos at least every couple of months when income allows.
oh, I know another one. White
I'm
man
scared
keeping
what
it
he has to
Christian.
say.
I'm scared too.
The infamous quote that Ricky comes with: "White man keeping it Christian."
I mean, that infamous title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a title, not a quote.
Oh, it's a title.
I mean, unless people know our channel, it's not going to be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky's also gonna have to explain. He's like, wait, I'm not actually white. I'm not actually white. Stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Nor Christian.
Every single time he gets stopped and asked, like, what does that white man keep a Christian? He's gonna be like, well, see. And as soon as you say, well, see, it's all over. It's done.
Hold
No
on.
one fucking cares anymore.
Hold on.
What you want?
Wait, what did you say?
Whataburger tattoo.
Like the logo itself?
Or something
I mean, I could probably do like a color scheme of the background with the burger.
Hang on. What about What a Guy and Attaboy holding up
Oh my
a Ted
god.
Patty?
I
No.
remember them.
Yeah, I remember those shit too.
You know what? Hang on. Let's go with the fucking holy trinity of Whataburger. Those two at the bottom holding up the burger, and you're just in the background, fucking Jesus posing, rising.
Well, if he does that, we may actually get sponsored by Whataburger. That'll be great.
I
Still
doubt it,
don't
but
think we'll get that. Yeah, we're gonna
at
get
the
the
very
same
least-
mentions that Ricky's been getting before.
Or
That's
at the
what we're
very
gonna get.
least, we're gonna give Ricky a sponsorship deal with fucking Whataburger. That's
Someone's gonna point out the fucking, the shit that Ricky says. They're just gonna go back to the first time he ever made a dark joke on the channel.
It's gonna be associated with his friendship with Kiko, and then all the stories are gonna come up.
I've known
and
Kiko
it's
for a long time, since high school, and that he says that it still gets worse. Kiko, why?
Kiko, hang on. You know, just
What
for
have you
his sake,
kept in the dark?
Kiko, we're gonna have to cut you off from Ricky. I'm sorry. As
No,
his manager,
I'm
cutting
not
you off
ready
of him.
yet.
I don't fucking give a shit. You had your time with him.
Hey,
now it's
hey.
time for Jesus to have his time with him. Jesus. And actually, no, it's time for Jesus to have his time with you.
On the
Fucking
real, though,
Ricky's
if
gonna
you guys
be-
have legitimate designs for your tattoo recommendations, I will consider them.
Meta's like,
I mean, I'm thinking like if the bass guitar, if you actually get a bass guitar, just get it like the bass that Steve Harris gets, which is a Fender.
Ricky, how much for you to be a walking promotion for Mena's channel? Like you have to. If someone asks about it, you have to mention his channel. We'll give you a script.
Maybe a couple $100 a day.
$100 a day.
That's a couple $100.
I don't know,
What-
Mena. This doesn't seem worth it for you.
If I meet a
mean-
quota, let's say like per week, or if I meet a quota, I have to get bonuses.
What about a flat thousand?
Tempting, really tempting, actually.
Yep, Steve Harris has a Fender precision bass. There you go. Just get a
You
Steve
know,
Harris
Ricky,
bass.
you can put it next to Courage the Cowardly Dog. Go with the cartoon skull.
It'd be right there on the forearm, very exposed and visible.
And that would actually, like, have people look at it and be like, what's that all about?
You know what?
I mean,
Ricky,
if he's
Mena
lucky, the
getting
Courage will get the
fucking,
attention, because Courage
matching
always gets the
tattoos.
first question, and then people see that next to it, because Courage always gets like the eye catcher. Like, I love that cartoon, or who is that? Snoopy? I can kill you if you say Snoopy.
Excuse me?
How do you get Snoopy?
Okay,
Oh, wait.
get this.
One's
A
pink,
couple
the
of
other's
times.
white.
This one's has been considered for Snoopy, Droopy, Scrappy Doo, and which one is a red one from Ren and Stimpy? Stimpy or Ren?
It's
Ren.
Stimpy.
No, it's
Ren-
Stimpy.
No, Ren
It's
is
red,
the
right?
Chihuahua. Stimpy is the red cat.
The red one,
You know
yeah.
what?
So he's been mistaken for the red one. Droopy, Snoopy, and Scrappy Doo.
Hang on.
How
Suggestion.
much for chowder?
Chowder!
I feel like we need to make a suggestion. What do you call it? Just something we need to do. We need to make a fucking show where one of the characters is Mondo. I don't know who the fuck the other one will be, but we'll call it whoever and Simpy.
Whoever is Stimpy.
I think it should be
hold on.
Kiko.
Wait, Horny and Simpy.
I've been wanting to bring some up because earlier this year I decided I wanted to try doing Adult Swim era animations.
Ashton McGee.
Yeah. Ooh. If you know, because I think I've talked about it before. Because Adult Swim, they have a very harsh schedule and they get a lot of indie people. So
Yeah.
it's like people are given like 24 hours, or not 24 hours, but like they're given a very short amount of time to come up with brand new episodes and a garbage budget. And that's why you see a lot of Adult Swim shows look like shit, like Squidbillies and shit like that.
Squidbillies, Super Jail,
Hey,
they don't-
Super
'cause they
Jail's
don't have a
pretty
huge
good.
home movies.
Yeah, but home movies have such a really good charm. It's like you didn't care. It looked like shit.
I like
It's kind of the
Squidbillies.
point.
It was kind of funny.
I
By the
love
way.
Hunger Force.
Mena, you were saying?
So I would think about the Chowder one.
Yeah, the Chowder one's interesting. But no, what I was saying is like, I've always wanted to do like shitty skits, and I want to see how fast I can. Like, not even good, just to get it out there.
Just present something, yeah.
Skits,
Yeah.
just to see like have like a week production.
I get it. It's kind of like how we had a couple years ago. How we have like a 24-hour compose a song challenge, 24 hours, like draw or animate a cartoon challenge, like we had a couple
Basically.
years ago. Like those. That. I mean, if you feel like doing it, man, go for it.
Well, we'll try.
Listen, you've got a plethora of voices that will lend their fucking
Yeah.
Voices to you.
That's what I'm down
Yeah, I
to.
know.
I didn't talk to Mateo. He was my original first one where it's just him being
My voice is cringy as fuck.
a fucking, what's it called? That he's a fast food employee. Somebody comes in and orders a burger without any of the like lettuce, tomato, or onions, and he just like, oh, so you want a kid's meal? Like, no, I just want a burger without any of the veggies. Okay, and what would you like for yourself, sir? No, just that. And then the manager comes in and is like, what are you doing? Stop harassing this young father.
Young father.
It's like, I don't have a kid. And it's like, well, then why are you buying this kid's meal? Look at him, it comes with the toy. And they just shit on him the whole time.
Like for a boy or girl?
Is this for your son or your daughter?
Yes.
And then he's like, I won't take this
It's none of your goddamn
And then
business.
Finally, he gives in, eats the burger, and he's like, how is it? You know what? It's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
It's because when I was a kid, I used to be picky about burgers and stuff, and nowadays I'm like, you know, now that my palate has been grown, I can pretty much eat anything except raisins.
I'm still picky about my burgers.
Yeah, so am I.
Same.
Not very much. But I'm still picky.
Anyways,
Look, man,
So is
if you want shitty art, I'll fucking do shitty art.
I just have to be really hungry to not care what's in the burger. Like, if it's like somewhat, a lot of lettuce, a little bit lettuce.
I could do a little bit of lettuce and some pickles.
I can go with the
Maybe
easy lettuce,
some
but not like the
onions.
hard
I-
lettuce where it's like near
hold
the.
on. I worked at a. I don't know if you guys know Valentine's Bakery,
I heard of it.
Possibly.
but I used to work for their food truck, right?
Right.
And they would make tortas that had like a fucking pound of lettuce,
Oh God. You know what?
and they were
I
like
fucking-
$8.
The first torta I ever had, it was like that. Put a pound of lettuce on that shit.
I just remember something that would be. I think it's worth mentioning.
Alright.
For
What
those
did
of
he
you
go
who are
do?
donut, no, not that bad. But for those of you who are donut lovers and like Dunkin' Donuts, and particularly like the lemon-filled, Dunkin' has before discontinued the chocolate lemon-filled. If any of you remember that,
Vaguely.
Haven't been to
Chocolate
Dunkin' Donuts in the longest time.
well, now they discontinued lemon filling entirely, and I am pissed about that.
Did they explain
you need a
why
hug.
they did, or?
Because it tastes like
No,
shit.
they just stopped.
They-
I
they
like the
never
lemon filled
explained
donuts.
shit.
Now it says Boston cream. Like, there's no lemon filling at all. Like, they
You know, hold
stopped
on,
it entirely.
I
The
wanna
Boston
mention
cream are
the
something
best.
I don't like Boston cream.
I fucking hate the lemon-filled Boston creams or any of the lemon, because like I always bite into it, and the outside is great and the inside is disappointing.
Yeah, I like the jelly filled still.
I feel like sometimes when I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I get a Boston cream, sorry, Ricky, I feel like almost 3/4 of the donut is just nothing but the chocolate and the dough, and then that last quarter, there's just a little bit of custard in there. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm nearly halfway through the donut and there's still no custard. What the actual goddamn
Hold on.
fuck is
I
this
have a
shit?
question.
What's up?
Because recently I went through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, and you have to order the donuts without looking at them, and that fucking sucks.
Oh, you
Oh,
did come
yeah.
up by name. Yeah, I used to work
so,
at Dunkin'.
So I
Donuts.
have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, I
What would
worked
you
drive-thru.
call like a regular chocolate donut?
Like the chocolate
Wait,
glaze.
hang
Yeah,
on.
chocolate donut.
Are we talking about just like a regular fucking donut with some chocolate on top, or it's like
Yeah.
a fucking like the double
Yes.
chocolate glazed?
No, the regular donut with chocolate on top.
All right, regular
glazed.
glazed chocolate donut.
Chocolate
No,
glaze.
Okay,
chocolate
so
donut.
no, okay,
chocolate
so
glaze
give me-
is something
hold on,
different.
Hold on. Because I said like
No, 'cause-
because glazed is what it's on top, right?
Yeah.
Yes, chocolate glazed. Because the donut
Now-
itself isn't chocolate.
Yeah, no, but because I said chocolate like glaze donut, they gave me the chocolate donut that has
Yeah,
like
the glaze
that
on
is
it.
glazed,
Glaze on top,
and I was
yeah.
so fucking angry.
Yeah, that's why I have. If I go there,
don't
I
mind.
order it.
Hold
It has
on.
to be a chocolate donut.
I don't mind one of those. I do, however,
You mind a lot of them?
4 of those.
Wait, when was this?
Like recently.
Because I
It
recall
was
that
Ricky.
at the very least they have the fucking like pictures of the 6 basic ones that they always have regardless, like not the seasonal ones. They have the 6 basic ones on the menu in the drive-thru, like the glazed,
Yeah, but that's
chocolate
not-
glazed, jelly filled, and the double chocolate glaze, which is the actual chocolate with chocolate glaze on top. And they're like the most common ones you can get, like, you know, any time of the year. The seasonal ones they have like on special or inside
Yeah.
that they make.
But either way, that was just a little thing.
I mean, I feel like another way that you could put it, just so that there's no confusion, is
Also, I
I
think
want a
my-
donut with some chocolate on top.
that still feels like they could. Okay. Anyway, what I did
I
was,
mean,
When I worked there, basically what we have to do is we're on like the intercom, and then we're there in front of selection, just like waiting for like, okay, chocolate reaches across the room, and they'll be like telling their list, like, wait, hold on, they'll be telling it either super fast, or we have to keep up with how many that you're getting, like 2 dozen, 1 dozen, we have to get them as you're speaking, so we just try to do it fast. And
Yeah,
I worked
no,
for a few months, and that was basically how we were taught to do it.
Back when I used to work at Baskin Robbins, I had the same shit where, you know, I would ask customers like, "Oh, what flavors you want?" You know, that they're getting a banana split. And I'm like, "Which 3 flavors?" They either list all of them all at once, all at the same time somehow, and I'm like, "Okay,
Hold up.
one
slow
more time,
down.
please." What?
Yeah.
I try to go one at a time.
Or
whenever
they'll
I
say,
order.
yeah, they'll say 1, and then, you know, I'm like, okay, and, you know, for the next flavor, they just won't say shit to me.
Oh,
No,
Jesus
my
Christ.
most common occurrence was someone that just, you know, they forgot that it involves a little bit of math. So a dozen is 12 donuts, correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
So here's what I'm
Perhaps.
hearing. I want 3 glazed, 2 jelly filled. How many is that? Oh, okay.
Oh my God. It's 3 plus 2, guys. It's 5. Come on.
2 more glazed, and 1 chocolate. Is that all? That's all? No, you have like 4 more. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So give me another 5 chocolate and 6 glazed. So that's over a dozen. How many is a dozen? 12. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna fucking shoot you at the window. Come here.
Sir, excuse me, how many
See,
scoops comes in a
this-
triple scoop?
And
like-
see, if this is why
Like
we
a
use
dozen is
basic
12.
math,
Half a dozen
because
is 6.
this keeps us away from dumbasses.
Because like people order like, you know, a dozen. You give me 12 glazed, okay, and then 6 extra this. Like, so you want a dozen and a half? No, a dozen. But you just asked
12
for.
in a dozen.
I'm like, ugh.
Hey,
See,
God,
I-
we
I-
could,
and say,
we could be
okay.
living in a better society if people paid attention in math class.
God help them if you try to ask him how much is a baker's dozen.
Oh
Oh,
my
man.
fucking god.
No. No one orders that much at once unless you're asking us to cater an event.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. I don't know what a baker's dozen is.
it's a dozen.
It's 13. A baker's dozen is 13 donuts.
But
That's
they
an
ask how much
odd
it would
amount
come
of
to.
fucking order.
No,
It
because
is.
it's a dozen and 1 for the baker.
Huh. Interesting.
But no one's ever ordered that much, nor would I know the price of that from Dunkin' Donuts.
And it sounds like it would be the price of a dozen plus a single, but then again,
Ironically enough, like I'll say this, and I don't care if this somehow gets Dunkin' in trouble, but honestly, when the donuts that go bad overnight, because I did graveyard, ones that did like the overnight shelf life and had to be disposed of, like the donut holes, like the actual little balls. Now we serve those separate.
yeah.
At times, maybe like every day or so, me and my coworkers have like a fucking donut ball fight and throw them at each other in the back.
That shit's funny.
Would you?
Like we had like
actually,
a
I don't
fucking
even know if I-
basket of the old or expired donut balls. Just fucking have a war in the back. Just fucking get
Would-
hit. You see little powder spots on our apron from the fucking markings that were thrown at us.
Would you ever take any of that? Well, I don't even know if I even asked that, because I feel like that might be breaking company policy.
If I would
Yeah,
take
yeah,
any
it
expired
It doesn't
donuts
work
home.
for them anymore.
Yeah, but still, like, it's still like Is it one of those things that you don't talk about, you just don't do, or you can't say that you do?
You do it, just you don't talk about doing it.
No,
Yeah.
like I would say to answer that was based on like the managers, like if they're chill with it or not. Like, okay, you can take 2 or 3. You can take a bag home. Like 1 or 2
Okay.
from
See,
the fresh
oh my
batch.
god, that's how it was at
Or-
McDonald's.
I felt
Like
like
little
that.
things here
yeah.
and there.
I
If they
feel
would
like
let
that's
you,
how it
okay,
should
why
be.
not? Take
Yeah, I
that
feel like-
and have a small coffee, on the house.
Yeah,
or if you
like-
want to pay for something, they give us half price or employee discount, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it should be done. Because I feel like if you just throw it out, like that's wasted stock.
You can't let capitalism win.
Like I did graveyard the whole time I worked at Dunkin'. So in the morning, when my shift was over, and I was in the morning after the actual morning rush, I take a donut and a coffee as I go home so I can stay awake for the drive and have something in my system because I just worked overnight. And usually in the next few hours, I had either my other job, class and my job at the school. Because this was at the time I was a workaholic and I had 3 jobs: day job, night job, a job at the school, and full-time student.
That sounds fun.
Reason why my hair took a toll and got thinned out and stressed. I was shedding like a fucking dog, which is why Mono said I shed a lot because he saw that happen.
Wow.
Ricky
But-
is just a dog.
Shut up.
No,
You know what? You're a
Kiko
dog
is a
that's
dog.
personified.
No, Kiko
But-
is a dog.
Kiko's
Literally.
Money
a
was
horn
nice.
dog.
My bills were covered. I paid out for school out of pocket, no loan. I am free and clear. I got through it. So
Bam.
that-
You know what,
Excuse
Javi?
me while
That's
I
a
cry.
positive note to end the podcast too.
Nah,
right there.
wait, hold up. I have so much to say though
On?
on everything. Hold up.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, tell me what would you like to talk
He has
about?
30 seconds. Play the dun 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 dun.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
either we're ending on that positive note, or you might get some
Okay.
extra time to talk about
Look,
shit.
I
You want to
okay.
recommend games and anime?
have games and anime. What do you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear about
Tower of God.
Dungeons, the new Mortal Kombat, or
New Mortal Kombat.
Alright, so I checked out the new Mortal Kombat Aftermath DLC. They added a storyline DLC, which is kind of rare for Mortal Kombat. With that being said, it's really interesting. It takes place both after and before the current game. Because what happens is at the end of the game, if you played the original Mortal Kombat, you kill the bitch. What's her name? Kronika. You kill Kronika, right? Unfortunately, you destroy the crown, so you can't reset the timeline. And the people that were sent into the void that wouldn't work with Kronika are free, which is Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, and Fujin, Raiden's brother. And they're like, "Yo, you fucked up. Send us back in time, and we'll go back to the past and end." Sorry, I almost Samurai Jack memed. But basically, you get to play as Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, and Fujin as they go back in time during the events of the current game to try to fix everything. But they're like, "Yo, we can't fuck with anyone that's already like doing stuff. We have to get new people. Who can we get that can defeat a god? We need an immortal. Who's a dead immortal that we can fuck with? Sindel. She thick as fuck. Let's go."
Alright.
And basically, you have all the good guys and all the bad guys trying to work together, both sides inevitably trying to betray each other, and you come down to a final showdown where Shang Tsung and God of Fire and Thunder what's his name?
Fujin.
No, God of Fire and Thunder. Who's the
Raiden?
chosen one? Who's the chosen
Me.
one?
Me?
No, for the games. The guy that has the super annoying bicycle kick.
Oh,
Liu Kang?
yeah, Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
Okay.
Yeah, Liu Kang becomes the god of fire and thunder. He absorbs Raiden power,
Damn.
and so there becomes a choice. At the end of the game, it's like, decide your fate. Do you side with Shang Tsung, or do you side with Liu Kang?
Is it like the end of fucking Injustice 2?
Kind of. You know, it's a very similar thing where you pick between the two factions. So Shang Tsung, if he wins, he takes over the thing, becomes the current elder, or becomes the Elder Gods, and basically he sends the minor gods to go conquer the realms. So basically the realms are stuck in Mortal Kombat for all eternity.
Right.
And with Shang Tsung at top pulling all the strings. The other one is with Liu Kang as the new god to craft the timeline. He wants to pretty much make things how they were before, but since he's no longer in the timeline, the Earth realm needs a new chosen one. So he gives the mantle to
Striker.
No, to string to who's the spinning hat guy?
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao. He gives he gives Kung Lao the title of Chosen One, and basically he helps build this destiny for Kung Lao. And I was like, oh, that's sweet.
That is sweet, especially after Kung Lao got shafted in MK9.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because Kung Lao, without Liu Kang there, he's a lot more humble because he has no one to be jealous of. And it's really interesting. Also, RoboCop's a beast. Dear God, RoboCop's a beast. He's a bully. He has multiple range attacks. One of his attacks, he shoots the camera, ricocheting the bullet off the actual camera, like your screen, to hit that new player. That shit's unpredictable. He has a parry shield that blocks projectiles and melee attacks. And he has a giant fucking explosive fucking 50 caliber sniper rifle he can just pull out of his ass.
As you do.
As you do, and that's pretty much it. He's a beast, and his new frontality is he does the robot.
I don't care what piece of door I get. I bring bitches in the motherfucker.
And my favorite,
Oh, the
my
friendship.
favorite, yeah, my favorite thing that I've been wanting to unlock is it's not a fatality, it's an end scream. Like if you just hit the enemy player at the end, is he handcuffs them and puts them in his car.
Hey, it's my favorite people.
Really?
He arrests them, and my favorite thing is there's an interaction between him and Spawn where he's like you're wanted, dead or alive, and he slams him on the car hood, and Spawn is like, oh, you're funny. Because Spawn is like, you know, dead and alive. So that's fine. The Mortal Kombat Aftermath, pretty good. I think if you like Mortal Kombat, this is really big.
I think Mon should get it.
A lot of characters to understand. Now, after Mortal Kombat, I have Darkest Dungeon to mention. I don't know if anyone's heard of Darkest Dungeon.
I've heard of it before. Usually I see it for the fucking memes.
Sounds racist. Why not Brightest Dungeon?
Oh, because it can only become the brightest dungeon once you defeat it.
Also sounds racist.
No.
Ricky,
So-
you're the white man keeping it Christian.
Yeah.
And we have Kiko who did blackface.
Yeah.
I did not do blackface.
Kiko, in our minds, you basically did, so shush.
Kiko,
So-
if you say something enough, it becomes true.
Yeah. That's true.
That's how you became the bioterrorist.
Hold on. Hold on. So I need to tell you about Darkest Dungeon. So
Right.
what Darkest Dungeon is basically
It's dark.
your father is a noble, and you're a noble. You've been off doing your own life, but you get a letter from him, and he tells you, yo, I need you to come back home. One of the best narrators in video gaming has often tells you that he was bored in his old age, so he started to fuck with shit, you know? Arcane, magic, and he found some ancient power underneath the mansion. He used everything he had to not only gain power and knowledge and magical bullshit and create things, he finally got to the bottom of the mansion, and he found it as a gateway to the realm of madness. And so basically, after being the only one to survive, he sends you a letter saying, yo, our family home, our mansion, our estate has become infested with monsters and horrible unknown creatures. You must come home, claim your birthright, and save us from the darkest dungeon. At which point, your
Roll
father,
credits.
after he sends you the fucking letter, blows his own brains out because he can't take the things that he's seeing.
Right.
So, you...
This sounds like Call of Cthulhu, but fantasy.
Oh, it basically is. It's like it's a Bloodborne-esque Call of Cthulhu. Actually, it's just a Bloodborne-esque thing. You have pistols, you have swords, you have cleric magic and science and witchcraft on your side as you fight either undead or twisted abominations created by your predecessor, or just bandits and thugs. It's a really interesting story. Now, my favorite thing about it is you can recruit survivors and heroes to join you in completing everything, right?
Right.
So you get a party, you send them to go do a job, get strong enough, and when you have enough strong people, you take on the darkest dungeon. You can actually choose whenever you take it on, but it's tough. It's
Because
tough.
it is the darkest dungeon.
Yeah. So when you first start off, what you're doing is you're trying to get money, gear, and getting strong people. Now, a way to do this is you get a lot more resources when you fight in the dark. But when you fight in the dark, you get ambushed by enemies. Enemies do more damage. You go insane faster, but you get a lot more money. And the only resource that it has no downside to expend is the manpower. You can hire people, send them into a dungeon with nothing, force them to get you riches and gold, and then just kick them out of the city. Now that they're crazy, mad, and hard. So you can pretty much run yourself as cruel as you want. Me, I try to build up my heroes as strong as possible, try to get treasure from bosses, and, do all that thing. I have yet to defeat the heart, mainly because something always goes horribly wrong towards the end of it. But it's a really good thing, and the reason I bring it up is, one, it's on sale. Two, they added a new DLC called The Butcher's Circus, where this game that is basically just PvE, a solo adventure into the madness and unknown, they added a PvP area. You get to build a team with whatever class, maxed out, however you want, except no copies. No copies. You can only use
one of
each, which is kind of sad because my favorite skills are like when you have a team of one of everybody, like just a bunch of clerics or a bunch of Deus Volts. That's fun because you get a bunch of Crusaders. It literally says the Last Crusade team. It's fun. Anyways, but yes, the Butcher Circus is a free DLC that they made and gave out to everybody, where you can test your mettle against other players. And it has... The Darkest Dungeon is my favorite for one major reason. Your characters take damage by everything. They can bleed, they can lose health, right?
Right.
You get hit, you get whacked, you lose health. But here's the thing. Let's say you see something disturbing, or horrid, or disgusting. Like maybe a zombie throws blood on you, or you see a twisted, hideous corpse, or you get locked in some sarcophagus. Some shit, right? Your characters lose sanity. And if they lose too much sanity, there's a moment where their mind is shaken. And one of two things is going to happen. Either they go insane and get a horrible trait. Let's say they're abusive. Now, randomly, they'll attack your party. Or they become hopeless, where they give up easier, or they pass their turns. Or maybe they become irrational and start moving around randomly.
Right.
Or they still their mind, focus their will, and become inspired. And they just kick ass and help your team. And it's all an amazing game. and I recommend it for anyone that likes strategies, roguelikes, or fucking, you know, Bloodborne shit.
Time to play the rogue?
You can play the rogue.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's-
I'm never allowed to play the rogue.
You could maybe. I mean, but then again, there's the Jester, which is one of the funnest classes, where you get to play instruments, put on a show, and then you're allowed one nuke of the last
Excuse me?
performance. Yeah. Basically, every time you use an ability on the Jester, it builds up his final performance. And your final performance, depending on how high you build it up, boom, big ass nuke.
That sounds like something I would be interested in.
Does it kill your own team?
No, it kills the enemy. It kills
okay.
one of the enemy.
But just absolutely nukes the fuck out of them.
Yeah, I saw somebody do a build where they like one-shotted the final boss with it, where they just buffed him, had him play as much music as possible, and then boom, one-shotted the boss with 1,000 health, and I was like, that's nutty.
That's insane.
And the PvP's been fun, so that's what I was going to try to ask. Who wants it? Who wants to try it? Because I'm just fine happy with it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, you've got any anime?
Anime. So everyone's been talking about Tower of God.
Yeah.
And there's a couple animes out there that, they kind of suck. Like Eighth Sun. Interesting premise, shit execution. Don't touch it. It's disgusting.
Never heard of it.
Which is good. There is one that caught my eye, which I didn't think it would be amazing, but it is. It's called Reborn as a Villainess, or some shit like that.
Oh, what do you call it? Yeah.
It's where this otaku chick died and woke up as a girl in a video game she once played, where she's the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
She's
the bad guy of the Atomic game.
Yeah, she's the bitch that always gets the guys, and blah blah blah. But at the end of the game, she
Kill
always
her.
is either dead or exiled. So her plan is like, oh shit, if I don't play my cards right, I'm gonna end up dead as fuck.
Or exiled.
So she's trying to figure out her way of surviving, but she's kind of just a monkey. She wastes her younger years just farming. She's like, to learn magic, I must farm. Because it's getting in tune with Earth Lady. Turns out she just sucks at magic. All she can do is make a little bump in the ground. That shit's hilarious, and the way she uses it, oh my god, that's it. But, basically, by trying to help everybody and avoiding getting fucked, she ends up in a situation where most of the characters just want to fuck her.
But not fuck her like that. Fuck her.
No, I do mean like that.
Wait, well, hang on. Like, fuck her as in kill her, or fuck her as in just fuck her?
They want to fuck her, like, actually
Yeah.
fuck her. Like, it's hilarious. Like, she was trying to avoid dying, and she seems to be like, because what happens is there's 4 guys that could be romanced by the main character, and all she has to do is avoid them. But by avoiding them or helping them with their problems, they have fallen in love with her. Now, the part that makes me laugh is that there's other girls that were supposed to represent other paths, or the main girl. By helping and befriending them, they now want to fuck her.
I see.
And it's
Everybody's thirsty for her.
it's
Hang on.
beautiful.
Is the main character thirsty for her?
Yes!
Excellent. She has avoided the bad ends.
It's now that's in theory what's supposed to happen. But I don't know. It's weird. We don't know how it's gonna go, but it's been a really fun series. It's literally just like she's become such a better person because instead of trying to do or be entitled, she's like, dude, I'm gonna go grow turnips. That sounds like fun. Thank you, Grandma. Your wisdom.
I
She
fucking
hang out with him too.
I read the first chapter of that.
I recommend watching the show. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I like it. I don't like the fact that the brother wants to fuck her. I
feel like that comes up a lot more than it should in Japan.
Now, that being said,
there's 2 legitimate animes, 3 that I know of that are dedicated to it.
Hold on. The reason I found that thing funny was because in the game, or her supposed path that she was supposed to be on, is her brother becomes a playboy that hates her because he was mistreated by his sister or his stepsister or whatever their fucking relation is, and he had a very lonesome childhood. So she's like, strat to avoid this doom ending is we smother him with attention and affection, and she does, right?
And she turned him into a Syscon.
No, here's what happens. He accidentally harms her because his magic is insane.
He's got that wild magic?
He got some big... No, he has golem magic. Which is nuts. And he accidentally harms her, so he starts locking himself away in his room, and it's a very, like, Frozen Elsa and Anna thing. Like, do you want to build a snowman? And it's, like, almost eye for eye, the same thing. Like, he's crying on the other side of the door, being alone, trying to protect her from his power, right? Here's the difference. In this one, the girl's like, get away from the door. It's like, what? And she took an axe from another room and physically busted down the door. And I was like,
yes.
Yo, strats.
Oh, I love that good shit. Yes. Beautiful.
So, I think, I recommend, like, if you like wholesome anime, it's pretty fucking wholesome.
It sounds really wholesome.
I mean, except for the fucking part. I mean, but the funny thing is she's so fucking clueless that she doesn't realize, oh, they want to fuck her.
Just like every other fucking anime
which is hilarious. Like, the guy that likes her, or the main guy, she's just like, what's it called? Eh. Oh, he must feel guilty that I hurt myself, or blah blah blah. But basically, he just wants to fuck her, right?
Right.
And no matter how hard he tries, the brother always cockblocks her. Or cockblocks him. Because they'll be like, oh, would you like to come to my private lake? And shit. Because he's a rich asshole, right? They're all rich assholes. Like, would you like to come to my private lake and we can have some alone time? She's like, yo, a lake? That sounds awesome. I'm in. And then they're going there together and he's like, yes, all according... And then the cart stops and he's like, what the fuck? The door opens up and the brother's like, not today, motherfucker. And she's like, oh, great, you're here. Now we can invite everyone else. And the
beautiful. Fucking how the plan always goes wrong.
I got my cock so hard. But the funniest, I don't know, the funnier parts are that the other girls are in love with her. And that shit just, like, blows me the fuck up. Where it's like, there's two people that are in love, that are gonna get married, and they both love her over their partners, and it's like, I can't let my partner get closer to them, because then they'll steal him away from me. And it's so stupid, but it's, I don't know, it's just very wholesome.
Are there any oohs?
You stop.
There actually is two, and that's because of a fucking meme.
I fucking called it.
Kiko, you just wanted it. You stop.
Yeah.
No, I shit you not. There was a video
you
on
want
YouTube.
the uwu voice, go to Allie.
No, fuck that. Apparently she does it in a minion voice, so that kills it. Fuck that.
Ew. Anyway, so that's a good anime. Other
Kiko,
than
I feel like that doesn't kill it for you.
It does
I
kill
don't
it for
know.
me.
I
There
just
hasn't
read
been a lot
this,
of
and that was funny.
What's up?
Me in hell.
Oh,
Yo,
I
come and get this furry. Got the hooves and everything. Satan, excuse the fuck out of me?
Oh no.
Yeah, you posted that in the comedy section. Jesus.
Like,
Fuck.
I am deceased.
See, that's also why I didn't want to be the big red demon. I wanted to be the lawyer, you bastards.
Get this furry. Got the hooves and everything. I mean, excuse the fuck out of me?
Power hungry lawyer, that is me. Animals. This is bullshit.
Javi's case for everything. Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. That's all he says. Plead the fifth.
We don't have to
Yeah.
answer that, Your Honor.
Plead the fifth. But is he not a bioterrorist? Plead the fifth.
Hold on. Oh,
He
yeah,
admitted
also,
it. Plead the fifth.
we showed up on every fucking news channel today.
Wait, what?
We as in El Paso.
My bar.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
I just
I was
matter.
like,
Locally.
is this the royal we? Is this the fucking the we
Discord?
as in our group?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say our group of friends.
Did Javi's channel get
No.
outed by
Channel.
how racist we were? And the jokes, how dark they were?
Did they
Did
find
we
my
somehow-
personal Twitter?
Did they find us hilarious and they want to
I
offer
swear
us
it's
a
all
TV
jokes and
deal?
funniness. Except
Did
for
they
Kiko,
find
he
out who I
just-
was and
crucified.
They want to offer us a deal to be on TV, but realized Kiko was there, and they're like, "Oh no, fuck that."
You know what, Kiko? Hang on. I feel like, whatever next woman that you're gonna do a fucking roleplay with, you have to preface, you going in with, hey, he's gonna end up on a fucking shitty podcast. I want you to know that.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I mean, already
Oh.
already
Speaking
have
of bringing up old podcasts,
oh god.
which one was the one where we said that I have to introduce my next partner to the YG
Oh,
stuff?
Oh, I think it was
shit.
like last week's.
No, it wasn't.
No.
You're fucking
No,
dumb.
no, what
Oh
the fuck?
god, dude,
Oh,
no,
I-
this was about a month ago.
Married.
Okay.
Yeah, it was literally a month ago.
Okay, I need the
Oh,
time
yeah,
for that
yeah,
podcast,
sorry.
'cause, guys, the time is upon us.
The time is upon us. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
dear lord!
Someone is about to be exposed to that side of what
Oh
it
my
is.
god. Alright,
fucking
well,
Christ.
then I think
Yeah,
after
right.
podcast we're gonna have to look for that, and then
Fucking podcast watch party, homies.
Hold on, let me tell you this.
God.
When the time comes that you meet this person,
Uh-huh.
I can tell, like, she's gonna say something, like, that triggers, I think, the group, and you're gonna fucking love it, and I'm gonna be, like, just embarrassed.
I feel like I'm gonna get like
You guys-
chased.
Is she gonna ask him for blackface? Like, what do you mean?
No,
Yeah.
no. Like, Mario would say this is waifu stuff, probably.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Ricky.
That's all I'll say. Shut up!
Ricky,
Shut
what
up!
have you done? Ricky, you've got a story to tell now.
Ricky.
Till next time, guys. See you next week. Goodbye.
No.
We're going to
Annoying.
Noichi.